I'm sure that that's something that's not beyond the power of this body. To get some members, I'm not suggesting that all of the residents of Ashraf be resettled here, but certainly if we take the lead, taking some folks in, then we can persuade other countries to do likewise. But the first step is delisting. If they are still listed as a terrorist organization, it becomes impossible to move them anyplace else. Delisting is, for certain, the first and essential step.
And Dr. Morse?
Delist the MEK must happen first. We must recommit to fulfilling our promise that we made to the people of Ashraf. You know, I appreciate what Mr. Takei has said. We're talking about decades ago. Even if we want to debate this, the UK has been debating it. The European Union, they've already concluded the debate. We need, though, to realize there's 3,400 human beings in Ashraf, and there's going to be a genocide unless we intervene and do something. I think the United States government to take responsibility for the solemn promise it made and to fulfill it, whether it's through the U.S. military forces, UNAMI, somehow we've got to keep our word in this world.
Dr. Takei? As I mentioned in my testimony, Congressman, I think the UN Refugee Commission should hold responsibility for them. As sizable members of the Camp Ashraf are actually passport holders or residents of other countries, Canada, France, or something. I believe under international law, those countries are obligated to take back their citizens. The United States would be obligated to do so if there is a citizen abroad in jeopardy. And the remaining of them, the United Nations should look for safe haven for them. I do agree that they cannot be repatriated to Iran, certainly, and the situation in Iraq does seem precarious.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Sherman, you are not a member of the subcommittee. We do have a member of the subcommittee here, and we will recognize your contribution and the right to ask questions as soon as the final subcommittee member, Mr. Rivera, has his time. Mr. Rivera.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I understand from all the testimony and all the information and the history that certainly the Iraqi government, as it is currently constituted, does not seem to want the MEK in their country, and I certainly understand that under no circumstances can they be sent back to Iran. I also certainly understand that the physical integrity of the residents of the camp must be protected. Given all of these different circumstances, I guess my first question is, what does the MEK, based on all of your knowledge, I'll start with the judge, what does the MEK want their fate to be, given all of these constraints?
I think they simply want to be able to function.
Where?
Wherever they can, both within Iran.
Within Iran?
Yeah, no, I don't mean sending the Ashraf residents back, but they want to have connection to people in Iran with whom they have contact so that they can effect regime change. But they can't function in that fashion as long as they continue to be listed as a terrorist organization.
In terms of physical residents, the colonel, I'll go to the colonel, what do they want their fate to be?
The first fate would be to continue to operate in the Ashraf area unimpeded. However, Madam Parsai has specifically told Lieutenant General Gardner and myself, if you want us to move, we will move. We will come to the United States or another country where they know they can be secure and they can be protected. They are willing to leave.
Well, if that is the case, does the United States have a plan toward that end to settle them, to have them leave? Or does anyone have a plan?
The United States, I know for a fact, has no plan. And we have seen, and it was mentioned this morning, this afternoon, the State Department is not responding to the calls of Congress. They're not responding to the findings of the judicial branch. And if I may be so bold, as an American warrior, I carry the copy of the Constitution with me. The first branch our founding fathers put down was the legislative because it was the most important and it represented the will of the people. and then came the executive to carry out that will, and then came the judicial to make sure it was being done right. We have a sub-element of the executive branch ignoring both the legislative and the judicial branch.